opening up. Here we go. Woohoo! Ready to roll. And then I have Sheila here running behind the scenes for me. Sheila, thank you very much. So super excited to have everybody here today. Look at everybody's already jumping in. Fantastic. Awesome. This is going to be a great day. And I'm just going to give it a minute and let everybody jump in here. And I am going to stop the share for right now. And then we'll bump over. So many exciting things happening in the industry this year. Super exciting. I was kind of thinking I needed more time on the Coffee Connection because there's so much happening, right? And so what we're going to do today is just really a brief overview of what's happening, and we'll be able to put some information in there, and you'll be able to reach out to people and find out a little bit more. And I think I just saw Eric jumping in here. Let me find him on my screen because, hi, Eric. I'm also going to make you a co-host as well. He'll be sharing today about Ti West. So, and Sheila, can you, thank you for helping me out today. Can you let people in the background as they come in? And actually, Sheila, I have lost you even on my screen. What a fantastic day. Isn't that a great thing to do? When you have so many people popping in here, I can't keep my screen straight, right? Awesome. I see Jennifer. She's jumping in here too. We need to make her a co-host as well. She's going to be sharing about some events that she has coming up. So, this is a great year, and you definitely want to get your calendars ready, because the neat thing that I found as I was going through and getting these all aligned, there's so many things happening and they're all different. And so the key thing is it's an opportunity to really, oh good, I lost, we'll let her in. It's a time to actually think about, what do you want to do? Where do you want to focus? And how do you want to build your skill sets? And where are some great networking opportunities? And that's what we're going to be sharing about today. So I'm super excited. And yeah, Carolyn's excited too. Yeah. And hopefully we'll get to see you at some of these, right? So still letting a few more people in here. And once I get everybody kind of logged in, if I haven't already made you a co-host, I will definitely do that. I know there's a lot of people that have time restraints today. So, and we do have a lot that we're going to be covering. So I'm going to try to stay very mindful of the time. And so as far as events and such happening, I'm going to do a shout out for a few of them as we go along. But if she's here, I want to make sure that we're still here with Jen, and yay. So, all right. Kicking this off, we have actually two Jennifers. We have Jen Walton, and she's going to kick it off with Girls Who Chase. All right. She has an event coming up that she wants to share. And I'm thrilled because we finally had some weather here in California. And I was like, I got to go film this. So,
awesome.
So, Jen, I'm going to go ahead and make you spotlight. Can you share a little bit about the event that you have coming up?
For sure. Yeah. Let me go ahead and share this deck real quick. And actually, I was going to say, I'm surprised there's only two Jennifers today. Usually there's at least 5 of us. So, so you should be seeing the presenter view right now of my deck, because I can't display it because it'll take over my whole computer and freeze everything. So please bear with me. Just real quick, I am the founder of Girls Who Chase. We are an initiative that was launched in early 2022, and the goal was really at the time to amplify female storm chasers. It has, I would say, exploded, which might be a little bit of an understatement, to become a full-blown media platform initiative that is designed to empower, educate, and equip girls and women around storms and weather. So I think there's really two pillars. There's the empowerment pillar, like you can do this and really anyone can get in and engage with the sciences. And the other pillar is women in STEM. So just real quick, our vision is really again around women in STEM and empowering and amplifying. And the challenge, the reason that we have arisen is because storm chasing is a male dominated field, has been for a long time. And in a lot of different ways, this discourages girls and women from entering this field, which has a ripple effect, denying role models, limiting business opportunities, and the like. So what we now do is our goal is to diversify the face of storm chasing and weather. That's become my tagline, and we're doing that a lot of different ways. One of them is through education and training, and so I am offering this year for the first time what I'm calling spring training, and the pun is completely intended. And the idea is kind of like with baseball, we all gather together and either refresh our skills or build a foundation to help us become excellent at this moving forward. So it's the first of its kind. I know there's a lot of words on here, and I'll just kind of talk it through. It's the first of its kind. It's fully virtual and it's cheap. And it's designed that way intentionally to make this accessible to people who are interested in storm chasing and want to maybe dip a toe in the water, or have long been thinking to themselves, I really would love to storm chase, but I have no idea how to get started. So there's no current, as far as I know, foundational event like this for beginning storm chasers or people who are interested in severe weather outside of storm spotter training. And these have two very different purposes. So storm spotter training is delivered by the National Weather Service and helps you identify different types of severe weather and report, which is, I would say, the first training anyone should attend. This is your next stop. So this will take you into forecasting, positioning around storms, working with the National Weather Service as a storm chaser, and then a couple of different highlights like how do you produce and sell video? If you're interested in capturing lightning, what does that look like? So obviously our overlap here with women in drones is the emergency management component and safety component. So we've also got a fire chief stopping through, a 30-year fire chief, to talk about storm chasing safety, how chasers can remain safe, and the like as well, making sure we're covering our bases because that's an important topic. So this is a science training, I would say, at its most basic, but obviously at a foundational level, and including what I'm calling Q&A rooms, so opportunities to talk with experts in different areas, ask them questions if somebody wants to move into one of these areas. What did that look like for them in their experience, et cetera? So to register, our website is girlswhochase.com/spring training. And I've got a detailed schedule, a list of speakers and bios. You can take a look and see if this looks of interest to you. And of course, you are more than welcome to reach out to me as well. Here are all of our socials kind of down in the bottom in purple, and you'll get me at any one of those. So that's who I am. So I see a couple of questions, I think, so I'll pop back here to the info about spring training, and Desi, I'll defer to you on how you want to handle that.
Awesome. So Bill did ask a question right in there about can anyone, boys and men, attend?
Of course. Yes. Yeah. So we're called Girls Who Chase, but the effort itself is community wide, I would say. In fact, I don't think it would have been successful if it hadn't been the entire community doing this. And of course, our focus is on girls and women relative to making sure they feel engaged and supported, but the training is absolutely for everyone, and all of our materials are for everyone. So thank you for asking that. That was an important question.
Awesome, awesome. So I did put a link in there for the girlswhochase.com and the registration for the spring training. So if anybody wanted more information on it, like I said, I'm super excited to be taking the class because after having a conversation with Jen, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm on it. It was wonderful, super exciting. Well,
Get
thank
out there and chase. Yep.
yeah.
Awesome.
Here in Southern California, you have to chase pretty far, I think, but it's okay.
Once or twice a year, actually, you can get some tornadoes in California. In fact,
Awesome. Yeah, well, not awesome in that respect, but as far as like chasing,
yeah.
I know it's you were talking about some of the time that you were going to be heading out and such like that. So mark it on your
Yep.
calendar. Right? Great program.
Cool.
Yes, great.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thanks for having me, y'all. Appreciate it.
Awesome. So I know you had to jump off and go to a class or do something else, and so we totally understand, respectful of your time. I appreciate you coming and sharing, and I encourage
Thanks for having
anybody
me.
to reach out. And if you need more information, I can help you out in that as well. But I know Jen needed to jump off.
Awesome.
Um,
Thanks for having me. Hi, Sharon.
Okay. All right. So, segueing next to our next Jennifer. I think I just saw her jump back in here. I know you were having a little bit of technical difficulties there, but I think we're all good, right?
I'm back.
Woohoo! All right.
You have to love technology. Sometimes not our friend, but that's okay. I'm actually going to keep this super short and sweet. I obviously work with Sundance Media Group. We do a lot of training and consulting within the industry. And I have a whole slew of things that are coming up in the next little while. And we're already planning for the fall of 2023. So I'm going to put all the information in the chat box. That's super easy for everyone to access the information. Caroline, I see that you joined us for the Pix4D training that's coming up this later this week. So that's super exciting. For those of you who missed out on that information last week, we still have a couple of seats available. So that's the first thing that's happening. We're doing an online Pix4D training. That's this week. Super discounted for the Women in Drones members. So basically half price for everybody. 2 days, really intense. We'll get into how to set up your drones, how to fly them to capture great data to create your output. So be it a map or a 3D photogrammetry model. So that's number one. We have ongoing 107 training workshops. So we've just booked in all of our sessions for February through June. So I think we're good through June. So that link will give you when we're having our 107 sessions. I do have a VIP Women in Drones discount code for that as well. I didn't have time to dig that up in amongst my tech issues. So if anyone's interested in the 107, do let me know and I can get you that promo code. In case the group is not aware, we have partnered with Kuka-Rankin over the last year and a half. They have been in the survey and construction industry for almost 100 years. I think this year is 97 years. And so we've actually been offering up free 20-minute webinars every Wednesday. So something that I would invite this crew to join us if you've got 20 minutes to spend some time with us and learn a little bit more about, drones and mapping, surveying in general, construction. Kuka-Rankin actually sells everything from the pencils that you use in the field all the way up to $40,000, $60,000, $80,000 Leica lasers. So, and everything in between. So aerial, ground, and marine, if you can believe that. They also have boats that do some survey I guess projects as well. So that's kind of interesting because I know nothing about the marine side. And then NAB. So for those of you that are more on the cinematography video side of things, we have confirmed that we'll be doing NAB this year. So NAB 2023. That is April 14th and 15th. So we'll do our day field training on the Friday. and then the night flight on Saturday the 15th. And that will be out at Seven Magic Mountains. I know a few of you have joined us for the night flight training. We still have the Seven Magic Mountains. They have not yet torn them down, which is actually a pretty big deal because they've been threatening to do so for the last 3 years. On some level, we were happy to have COVID hit because that slowed everything down. The Seven Magic Mountains is an art installation that was installed, I think, in 2017 and sold in 2019. It's supposed to be going over to Sweden somewhere. So we're happy that every year we still have it available to us. And last but not least, Commercial UAV Expo happening in the fall of 2023. Jeremiah, I will not steal your thunder, but I will let you all know that we are doing the drone demo day again on Labor Day, which I believe is the 4th. So we're in the process of planning that out, which is always super excited and exciting. And I'm really hoping that we'll have a big crowd this year. We're going to switch it up, I think, change up the location for it. So it'll be a little bit different. And I guess last but not least, I did say CommUAV was last, but we're also planning our roadshow, robotics roadshow, come this fall. So October through December, similar to what we did this past fall, where we did roadshow stops, when we kind of introduce all of the different robotics that we get involved with. We also have it's called the Anybotics Animal that is now in our midst. So it does ground-based LiDAR capture. So we've actually been tying that together with some aerial LiDAR capture, and some of the project outputs have been pretty incredible. So again, I invite you to the Lunch and Learns. You'll learn a lot more about how we tie all that information together. And like I said, we got a lot going on. So happy to always have questions, comments. Let us know what you are looking for. And if Sundance Media Group isn't available to provide it, we certainly know other people to refer you to. So that's it from me.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you. And we truly thank you for the amazing discounts that you've provided for women in drones, because it gives an opportunity for us to learn. And along that segue, I love your Lunch and Learns. Those are fantastic. So I'm glad you shared about those as well. Can you throw your information into the chat? I know you put all the links.
I did.
I reposted the one for the Pix4D training because I saw that come up. A couple other questions had already been addressed by others, such as, what is NAB and such like that. But Jennifer put her information in there, so obviously she's available if you wanted to reach out and ask any more questions. So thank you. Exciting stuff on the horizon.
Lots of stuff going on. Absolutely. Some of it free, some of it discounted. So you can't miss out. Get involved.
Right. So awesome. Thank you. Okay. And now I'm going to call out here on Bill Johnson. He's thinking Skip is next, but Skip is in transit from one location to the next. So Bill, if you are available, I'd like for you to jump in here. Tell us a little bit about what's happening in AAM. First of all, what is AAM? And you sound fabulous, but you might hear you a little better if the mic was undone.
Yeah, Terry, thanks. Yeah, as usual. AAM stands for Advanced Air Mobility. So this is the electrification of passenger and drone aircraft. And so it's a little bit broader than just the UAS community. So hopefully I will get my, I have an article that I'm writing for Vertical Space that I'm turning in today, and you'll see how I look at AAM in that article. So I'll go ahead and move along here. There's a bunch of really good conferences that you can go to look at AAM. They are a little bit expensive. They're symposiums. They range from in the hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars, right, to register and go to. So I've tried to put that on there a little bit, but the biggest ones that I just missed. Sharon actually went to it and was on a panel down there, was the Vertical Flight Society's Autonomous VTOL. They have a technical meeting in parallel to an electric VTOL symposium, and they really look at all of and bring in a lot of the manufacturers, the various issues that go with it, from the propulsion techniques, how to create batteries and hydrogen fuel that would support these, the infrastructure that goes along with it. So they do a great job. It seems like. Sharon, again, maybe you could give a little bit of a background on it as far as what you thought of the symposium. It looks fabulous to me, and I have not yet been able to get out to it. The next one that's coming up is in March. It is also a Vertical Flight Society associated symposium. It's focused on the hydrogen fuel cell and hydrogen fuel for electric aircraft, or for these new advanced air mobility aircraft. That is in March. Like I said, the end of March. One of our Hall of Famers will be speaking at that. That's Anita Sengupta from, and so she's well known in that industry, in the H2 industry. Her company is actually, creating an H2 propulsion. Revolution Aero. This is a company that has been around for quite a while. I actually went and attended their online global forum 2 years ago. They are now in person and having, everything that I've heard about these are fabulous. There's 2 of them. There's one in Dublin in April, and you can see down below there's one in September as well in San Francisco. I sent an intern to the one in San Francisco last year. He came back saying that it was really comprehensive. You get to see a lot of the manufacturers, some of the supply folks. It's a networking business, and it explains the advanced air mobility sort of industry and ecosystem very, very well by going to it. So those are the 2 that one of those at least I'd like to go to. The other one that I find is really exciting is another, not yet, Electric Aircraft 2023. That one looks to be fairly broad and technically focused. I found it online. I have never gone to it. It's in Los Angeles. It seems to be, I don't know how expensive it is or how well attended. So that's one that popped up on my radar that I'll keep an eye on and perhaps put into a possibility to go to. The one that really looks very exciting is the one that's right before the Oshkosh Air Show, and that's the 17th Annual Electric Aircraft Symposium. They many times at the Oshkosh show, there's a lot of the OEMs that bring out their aircraft, and you can go and see those. But before it, there's a 2-day event that is held at the University of Wisconsin there in Oshkosh that really has a very good, very broad content of panels and discussions, etc. So this is one that I would say would be worthwhile, particularly if you're planning on going to the air show afterwards, and it should have a lot of interesting information and get you up to speed on what's going on in the advanced air mobility sector. Again, the last one is Aviation Week's AAM Americas, that focuses obviously on the South America part of the industry, but Aviation Week, they broaden out the scope very well. I've been to an incubator. I actually was on a panel for an incubator. That's where I met Sharon, actually, and that they do not show that one continuing, unfortunately. The AAM incubator, which I thought was a pretty good, it was not well attended per se. I went to the first one, but I would imagine that the AAM Americas is similar and allows for insight into various issues that go into the industry, and it would be around the ecosystem, what type of infrastructure is required, what regulations are required, etc., and not necessarily focused on who's in the manufacturing industry. I want to go back and talk a little bit about Revolution Aero. that one, if you look at it, sometimes the OEMs, there'll be fireside chats where they explain where their particular product fits into the market. And so it's a little bit of a pitch to the industry and to the people that are in the industry. A lot of times it's also a pitch to get more funding, to show what they're doing and get investors. So that sometimes stretches into that side, but I mean, you're still getting an insight into what those companies are. And it's, again, that's one of the more well-attended and well-known inside the advanced air mobility industry. There's a couple that are a little bit expensive, and we've seen these before. The Global Urban Advanced Air Summit comes along with the Farnborough Air Show. It's actually part of the Farnborough Air Show. It looks like it sort of allows AAM to be showcased during a global aviation event. The second International Advanced Air Mobility Expo in Japan, in Chiba, Japan, goes along with Japan Drone. So if there's anybody in the Asian area that is looking at drones, you could also get the broader view of what the advanced air mobility market is doing during that. It is focused, it looks like, on the Japanese market because they have an expo coming up in Osaka in 2025, and the advanced air mobility market and air taxis are gearing up to be a part of that, at least a couple of them, and they're Japanese based primarily. There is always the NBAA, National Business Aircraft Association's conference that is one of the largest in the world. That's being held in Las Vegas. I went to the Orlando one this last year, 2022, and it has a set aside area for AAM that some, not all, but some of the larger OEMs go to. Saw maybe 5 or 6 this last time we were there. They had some panel, open panel type of events as well that I attended. So that gives you a sense. It is a bit overwhelmed, but it allows for the interface to see where AAM might fit with business aviation. And then finally, CES. We were all out, well, many of us were out at CES, and we got to see the interface. Some of the AAM OEMs were out there as well. Again, that conference, CES, is focused on consumer electronics, but that's where AAM first came onto the public scene in a big way. And a lot of the OEMs will use that as a way to show themselves off, because drones have always been a part of that as part of the new technology. So that's an interesting one. If you go online, there are a bunch of free ones out there as well. There's the Advanced Air Mobility Expo that's free. That's in London. It has a little bit of a focus on the European market, so that's not bad. It's in conjunction with the Helitex Expo that is obviously a vertical aircraft business type of expo. And so AAM will probably be a limited part of that. There are these very community focused events that go around. There's one in Ohio, there's one in Orlando, the UCF Advanced Air Mobility Conference, that's looking at and bringing in the community to understand what AAM is and to provide information on that to the community as they start to gear up to bring the advanced air mobility, air taxis, and electrified air aviation into that community. So what I'll do, Desi, I can, as you're talking, I'll pull off the links and I'll put them in the chat so that people can see these, or I don't know if I can download the actual presentation that has it all into the chat or not. I think I'm not sure. I've never done that.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but somebody has asked us if you could go back to the first slide with the
Yep.
AAM conferences again, and a lot of great information there. So yeah, if we could, I think you were going to share this slide deck.
Yeah.
So not to put Sharon on the spot, but can we at least put that up onto our, she's going to be mad at me now. Can we put that maybe up onto the Women in Drones website? So just a quick, yes, okay, thank you. So
Thanks, Sharon.
also, it does take a little while, but all of the presentations do go into the website, into the library, but this is something that needs to be addressed quite early. So yes, that would be fantastic to have that information in there. So wonderful.
Okay. I
Thank you
will
for sharing.
I've
Look
sent
at all
it to
that.
you, Desi. I'll send it to Sharon as well, just so that she has
Perfect.
it and she can pass it around. And I'll try to figure out how to get some of the links into the chat.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thanks.
So that would be great. And I noticed that JJ mentioned it's time to make sure the passport is current, right? So you're going to find that there's a few more global events coming up. And so it would be great if you get that passport updated, right?
Yeah,
So
that's right. And unfortunately, there is sometimes there are some restrictions, particularly coming from Asia into the United States. We found that Sharon found some issues with that for her event at CES. So you do have to look a little bit ahead if you're going to some of those that are international.
awesome. Yeah, good tip right there. So, Jeremiah, I'm going to also let everybody know we are running a little behind schedule because there's just so much great information here. So, I'm going to continue on. We'll probably go over, and this will be recorded, so you'll have that information if you do have to jump off. But while we're on the subject of some of the events and conferences and such coming up, Jeremiah, I'm going to jump over to you. And hey, I know that picture.
Yeah, thank you, Desi. Well, I think I can be pretty quick because we've got Commercial UAV Expo is coming up this September. It's going to be the 5th through the 7th this year. And for anybody, I'm Jeremiah Karpowitz, editorial director for Commercial UAV Expo. And for anybody who isn't familiar with the expo, our goal with the event is to bring together the people who are actually using the technology or planning on using the technology. What does it actually mean to use drones in a way that makes a given task faster, cheaper, or safer? That's kind of the foundation of the event. And then what does it mean to do that in specific segments like construction, like for an energy inspection, et cetera, et cetera. So what I wanted to showcase today was not only kind of what the event is, but we're going to have our call for speakers going out very soon, and I want to share that link in the chat. So anything that you're looking to the expo for this year that you either want to be part of or call out as something that we really need to cultivate and make part of the event. That's what we want to hear. And you heard Jennifer Pigeon earlier talk about the demos that they do, and they just do such an incredible job because for years we had heard about, oh, okay, great, the drone's in the cage, we see it go up, we see it go down. Like, we actually want to see what this technology can do and show me how it actually works. And they've just done such amazing work to really show that, and that's been great. And like she said, that's planned for the event this year. Location is TBD, right, Jen? We'll sort that out. And then on the expo floor, we really want to be able to let everybody see, what is this technology? Get your hands on it. Talk to the manufacturers, the people who are making it. The expo floor just has so many incredible innovations, and that's coupled with the presentations that are part of our conference program. But what I really wanted to highlight today was kind of this sense of community that Desi, you've done such an incredible job of kind of keeping this community together, keeping these conversations going, but being able to pull those together at the event so that you can hear this conversation on stage or talk to somebody like Tani, and there's Tony Drummond and Fiona. It's just been really great to have these conversations throughout the year that we might have on a Zoom call or as part of a webinar or whatever else, but then to put this content on stage, but then turn it into a conversation. That's something that we really want to cultivate and lean into in whatever way, shape, or form we could see. Like, these are people just asking questions at the event or running into somebody or doing calisthenics, evidently. I don't know, I wasn't in that session, but it's just you kind of never know what you're going to get at the expo, but that's the idea, is that these are conversations that wouldn't take place anywhere else. These are discussions that you wouldn't think to have in any other context, but kind of hearing what's happening on stage, being part of these conversations, that changes things, and that allows you to move forward, move your business forward. And that's what we want to celebrate and showcase. And that's, I know anytime you hear about events, it's just kind of this it's very impersonal brand, but that's our team. I'll share the links I'll share today are to the call for speakers, which we aren't making available at the moment. We'll get it out there eventually, but if anybody has something to get over to us, getting it in early will get it on our radar quicker. And then I'll share our contact info that has everybody on the screen here, is something you can follow up with folks and have that conversation with us, which we're more than open to.
Fantastic. Always a great event. It was phenomenal last year. And the networking that was there, and which is obviously something I'm very big on, but it was, and so informative. The presentations, I put that into our post here because the presentations were just outstanding. So yes, very much looking forward to that one again this year. So if you could put your information in there, that would
Yes,
be
we'll do.
fantastic. Would love that. Had a couple comments about how great it was last year. So yes.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, and something, yeah, last year was our biggest event yet, and we're looking to build on that in every which way. So really appreciate everybody who's been part of that, and what we can do to further cultivate that and make that even bigger and better. Please get in touch with us and let us know.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right. Okay. So I think I saw Skip jumping in here. Let me just double check that really quickly, because I know he is in transit. And Sheila, did you see Skip jump in? Was he able to jump on here? He jumped in and jumped out. All right.
I don't see him, no.
Okay, so we're going to circle back to Skip again. He's on his way to work. So, and I know he's going through an area that does not have a whole lot of internet reception. So let's go ahead and segue over to a super fun event that's coming up for a training. And I can't wait for Caroline to actually, to share about this and tell us a little bit about, I get my Caroline confused, sorry.
Don't worry.
Oh,
Respond to anything.
how many times have I been talking to you just in this week, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm excited. Tell us about Fruit Farm Flying. I am super excited about this.
Okay, so basically, it's Blue Dragon drone and photography services. And my tagline is "Let me help you tell your story." And it's basically helping farmers to showcase their land and their story to boost their business. I'm also the CEO and founder of Green Farm for All, which is about educating people about agriculture. And guess what? I'm really big about agriculture drones. So let me share this screen. And so basically, let me see if that works. Yay, there you go. And so we're doing, I'm super excited to present this workshop. When I do this type of work, I meet a lot of farmers, and one of the farm, Oceanside Dragon Fruit Farm, is on 6 acres. And I talked to Leo. I said, hey, that would be awesome to do a drone workshop. And so it didn't take 5 minutes. It's like, oh yeah, I'm so happy to have people on my land. So 6 acres. So think about it. If ever you don't know what an acre is, a football field is 1.3 acres. And so basically we'd be flying over 6 acres. And the fun part is you have no power lines. There's mountains, it's spring, it's going to be beautiful. We have a nice area. Let me see if I can go back to pictures. Hey, there you go. So that's Leo and me. So when I did an interview with him, and
Hey,
so
we're still seeing your slide deck, by the way. It didn't
better.
Didn't advance.
Oh yeah, it's just one picture.
Okay. We're just seeing Blue Dragon Drone Photography Services, the logo.
Okay, let me take that one off. How about now? Woo, where did you
I
go?
see you. You look great. Skip is here.
I can, thank you, thank you.
See,
Okay, hang in there, hang
I
in
love
there.
this. This is how
There you
you
go.
stuff,
You
right?
see it now? Yes? Do you see
I
it?
love it. There you go. Perfect.
Oh, okay. So so this is the farm, and so I did an interview with Leo that's on YouTube, and so it just shows you a little bit what the dragon fruits are. And so you see on his side, so they're a little bigger, so they can be 100 to 200 pounds when they're fully grown. And the fruiting seasons are between April and October, and we would be there in March. So the workshop is March 18 and 19. So March 17, we have a meet and greet in the evening. March 18, we have class to show. So it's a beginner drone workshop. And so if you are beginning in drones, or or you're super advanced in drone, but you know some of your friends that are just starting with drones, you want to beat the winter blues, we've got it for you. So we already have spring in Southern California. Yes, we are in winter, but there's grass growing everywhere. The mountains are beautiful. And so we said, so March 17, meet and greet, March 18, class, and then we fly Sunday morning. So we have an added bonus. Yes, we will be flying again. However, we also will, we're going to have a demo with a P4 multispectral. And this is with, so the workshop, basically our instructor is our own Desi Eckstein. So Desi,
Yes.
hello.
Awesome. Okay,
Yes,
so
tell us
perfect.
about that demo now.
So Carolyn just asked a great question. The workshop is actually going to be in Fallbrook. So the weather's perfect, the open sky. Look at there, just from these pictures, you could tell it's beautiful
Oh,
here,
yeah.
right? So it'll be 2 days. We'll be doing the basic beginner. Of course, I'm all about safety. So we'll go over the safety in the beginning and then segue over and get to fly in this amazing location. And then the next day, we actually have a demonstration scheduled for George Foster is going to come in, and he has the P4 multispectral. So he will be able to set up the drone and do a mission with the base station and actually fly a autonomous mission with a multispectral, which is a camera that you would want to use if you're doing agriculture. So it's a pretty neat opportunity that we'll be able to actually utilize and see it in action, right? So
Yes.
I did put the link in there for the workshop if you wanted to know more about it. You can reach out to Caroline. She's going to go ahead and put her information in there, and she'll be able to tell you. But you also will be learning about agriculture and the flying, what it's like to fly at a fruit farm. So pretty neat, pretty great opportunity in there. And so,
Oh yeah, it's going to be amazing. And parking is easy. We have so we're going to have one hotel that we I there's one hotel that we're going to tell people this is our favorite ones, but there's definitely other ones around too. But yeah, it's just going to be so beautiful. Like I said, it's spring out there, and well, I'm sure we're going to be talking to Leo. He's so happy to have us there. He's just so happy just to present his farm and talk about dragon fruits. And so, yeah, the dragon fruits are 1 to 2 pounds, and they're called dragon because on the fruit, and I'm sorry, I don't have picture of the fruit itself because it's off season. The scales, I would say the skin looks like dragon scales. So that's why it's called dragon fruits.
awesome. Awesome. So we did put the information in there. If you want to mark your calendars and come to sunny Southern California, that one is coming up. I posted again, the dates are March 18th and 19th, and the link to find out more is already up on the website as well. Thank you for sharing that with us. Super excited. See you in March, right? All right.
Yes, absolutely.
We are going to segue over to Skip. So I know we're coming out of out of sequence, if that's okay, Eric. Okay, good. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead if Skip is on here because I know he's trying to segue to his class. And so Skip, are you on here now? Have we lost Skip again?
I
think. Oh,
see
no,
him, but he's on
Skip.
mute.
There you go. All right, we're gonna make you co-host. Hi, Skip.
I'm going to be a co-host. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can,
Sounds
yes.
like- I can see my mic is on and my video is on, and I'm just pulling in at Grossmont College. So the timing is perfect. I didn't expect to be here today, but I got a whole bunch of drones came in, like thousands of dollars of drones came in. So I got to come over to the campus and pick them up and then take them back to my studio in Palm Springs and then set them all up for class that starts February 22nd. So not that I would have just rather sat in the studio and talked to all you guys, but there's something very exciting about picking up about 10 drones and taking them home and then flying around with them for a few days before classes actually start. So almost parked, and I'd probably safer to park and talk than drive and talk, but I'm almost there. But you guys got a good signal and everything, Desi?
Yep, you're looking good. Go ahead and
Did I lose
share
everybody?
about your workshop.
Okay, so here's what's going on. In March also, and I don't have the exact date right in front of me, and I'm sure Desi can help. I think it's March 11th. I know we've changed it a few times. So we're going to have a advanced cinematography workshop out here in Palm Springs or up there in Palm Springs. And what we're going to do is I don't know if you guys know my background, but I have a big television and film background. I pretty much work for everybody, HBO, Showtime, Fox, doing a lot of cinematography. My background specifically is stunt cinematography and action cinematography. So we transitioned to the drones, and I pretty much have created an advanced cinematography course for the colleges and for you guys. And what we're going to do in this boot camp is we're going to give you all the advanced, I don't want to say basic, but for those of you that don't know how to use the cameras and the drones, we're going to show you all the ins and outs on how to use them. We're going to show you all the tips and tricks on how to use those cameras. And then we're going to show you some very unique flight training patterns that attach to the drones so that you can create dynamic, action-packed videos. We have some really unique locations out here in the desert. We have an abandoned area that we're going to be going to called Bombay Beach. We're going to be shooting we're going to shoot downtown the museum in front of the Marilyn Monroe statue, and we're also going to do a night shoot. So I do a lot of night cinematography and photography, and we're going to get it. It's different. Flying at night is completely different. So hopefully it'll give you guys a good boot camp type of training. It's pretty much all day, all night. We won't wear you out though. We'll take a break. Our host hotel is a spa. So it's a mountain spa. So where you guys at, you can drop in.
It's getting kind of choppy.
What's that?
I think it's getting kind of choppy. So we're not really picking up all the words that you're saying.
Hold on. All right, hold on. I'm trying to find a good area with my 5G. Oh, hold on. Let me see where I got here. 5G is all over the place. I'm going to stop driving in a second and see how this all works out.
Okay, right there sounds good.
We're good?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to stop right. All right, hold on. All right. So this is awesome, right? Oh, hold on. Let me put you guys on my. Any questions? How's that?
Awesome.
I'm there. Okay, I'm parked. I got a good signal. And now do we have, I guess, questions, right? Unless you missed some of that.
No, I think we're doing good. They're all excited. Sheila mentioned about it being a night shoot. So that's one of the things that makes this one so exciting is I have to say, I've been to those night shoots and it's phenomenal. And so like everything that we presented here, everything's very unique. And that is just another unique perspective. Looks like, what do you need to bring to the training? So we're not going to deep dive into that, Roseanne. We will set up an additional Zoom so that we can go over those kind of details. But that is a fantastic question, and that is going to need total dialing it in. So we do hope to have something like that. Go ahead, Skip, you're going to say something.
Yes, I can't see who's all on the Zoom, but I did hear you say Roseanne. Roseanne is an instructor with me at Grossmont College. She also teaches at my nonprofit, Drone Flyers Academy. And she's going to be one of the assistant instructors at this event. So Roseanne's going to be there. She's done all the advanced courses. She's done all of the night classes. The last night class that we just did, we lit up the whole area with flares, with like street safety flares. It was just apocalyptic. And we're going to work with hyperlight. We're going to work with low light settings. We're gonna do these drone missions. It's really a cool thing for the night. But then the idea with the daytime is we're gonna really dial you guys into understanding how your cameras work, and then flying for cinematography, for dynamic cinematography. There's a lot of stuff to learn on using both their sticks to control the shots and stuff like that. We'll also touch on photography. So, you'll learn how to do some really good night photography as part of this. It's not just cinema, it's also photography and during the daytime stuff. So it's a pretty dynamic class. It's so much fun, and I really can't. And the idea of where we're going to be, it'll also be during, you guys can search this it's going to be during Desert X or Desert Art X or Desert something X. There's a huge, matter of fact, Sharon was here during that. There is a huge art festival in the desert, and artists from all over the world build giant, scale, 1 building, 2 building size artwork out in the desert. And we're going to be shooting some of that also. I think that's it.
Doesn't that sound phenomenal? So I did put the link to the webpage on that. So yes, we'll be getting that ball rolling as well. So much exciting things. So Skip, I know you're off to grab those drones. So thank you for being able to jump in here and share. There's the college now. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Roseanne, thank you for sharing that contact information for him. Awesome. So they will reach out to you if they have any more questions. As we move forward, we'll try to set up a Zoom so that people can dial in some of the detailed information. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Skip. So
I love all of you guys. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to go have a little bit of fun on campus and then go back to Palm Springs. So thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. All right. So we are going to actually segue as we're I got muted. I'm sorry. I should be unmuted now, right? Okay. So I'm going to segue over to Africa now, right? Let's bring in Louise. Yes. And she's going to share some of the events that are happening over there in Africa because we've got those passports ready.
Yes, you better get your passports going. Sorry, it's a bit dark. We've got load shedding at the moment, but we've still got the technology here to to share some information. I've actually oh, hang on a sec. Sorry, I'm a bit. Oh, I've lost my screen. Sorry, bear with me a sec. There we go. I've only got a few selected events. I wasn't sure, so I only sort of covered around about February, March. So I'm sorry about that, but just to give you an idea of things that are coming. I don't know if anybody attended last week's, 2 weeks ago, we had our first January fireside chat, and a lady called Virginie Uwamana from Flying Labs Namibia gave an excellent, very engaging presentation about considering community impacts using drones. And her Flying Labs, again, they are going to be hosting a workshop for effectively helping to facilitate the safe operation of drones in terms of their current applications, how they're being used, as well as how they could be used in the future. And this is done in support of and with the Namibian Civil Aviation Authority. So these dates here, there are 3 workshops. You can either attend the 7th or the 8th. And basically, that's just to throw out and start the discussion. The next workshop on the 13th of February will actually start to bring together the summaries. And then the 14th will be the overall conclusions of that particular workshop. So that's coming up in Namibia, and it's a beautiful country. So I would recommend that. I'm hoping you can see my screen's covered by, there is a QR code there if you want to log in.
We do see the QR code. Get out your
Yeah,
phone,
okay.
take a snapshot.
Say again?
I said, we do see it, so get out the phones and take a snapshot.
Absolutely. The next one is, this is a really interesting and an important conference that's coming up. Public safety and security is a big issue here in South Africa. We have a huge security industry. We have more people in private security than there are in the South African police service. I mean, it's an amazing statistic. So security is very important here. And this is a really interesting conference that's coming up, basically to sort of discuss how drones and the software, the information they're collecting, is being used to help with security, to help with emergencies, to help with disaster management. Excuse me. And so this is a good one. I'm sure you can attend remotely, but it might be well worth, if drones in terms of security, maybe how they're being used for more nefarious purposes and how to counteract that, this will be a good conference, I think, to attend. I think it's a really interesting subject myself. It's really getting quite challenging, I think. This one is from in Kenya. If you happen to be passing through, Jagongo Abara, he's running RPL, basically remote pilot license instructors courses for fixed wing and multi-rotor. And he's also hosting a course to get your pilot's license as well. These are in various places in the western parts of Kenya, including Nairobi, the capital. So yeah, he'll be following the Civil Aviation Authority requirements, but he's certainly up and running and looking forward to a good turnout. He does a lot of work with the local youth in the western part of Kenya as well. So he's been doing a lot of courses. And finally, just again, Flying Labs, South Africa. You may have met Queen Lovo through Coffee Connections and or through Fireside Chats, an absolute character and a real dominating force in the drone industry here in South Africa. And she was telling me that she's got some STEAM training coming up with UNICEF, and they're going to be focusing on rural children in 4 of the provinces that we have here in South Africa. And they're also going to target unemployed youth. So those are coming soon. I don't have the dates, that I'm afraid. And equally, she said that there's a deal that's been done to bring drone soccer to South Africa. So hopefully we'll have some more news to report on that in due time. So that's a very short summary of some of the things going on here in Africa. Yeah, do come out, and we're going to try and organize a women and drones thing still. So get your passports up to date.
I love it. Count me in. Yes, I would love to do something with women and drones there. That is super exciting. I definitely have that on my radar. That would be wonderful. So thank you for sharing all those great activities that are coming up. And yes, wonderful speakers that you've had on the Fireside Chat. And so we look forward to more of those also, because you didn't do a whole lot of mention on those. All right, awesome. Okay, so I have to say at this point, it is the top of the hour. I hope everybody could stay on because Eric, as you know, he has actually presented here, and it's always a wonderful time to see his amazing pictures and such from Thailand. And he's going to share about possibility of going to Thai West. Eric, sorry
Okay.
it is ran late. Thank you for being able to join us, and super excited to hear from you.
No problem. Can everyone hear me?
I can hear
Yes.
you. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, we can see the slide deck also, though.
Okay. Whoops. We will change that. There we go. Okay, so I'm a little embarrassed to be talking about what Desi and I are putting together after everybody else has dates and prices and all this kind of stuff. But Desi and I were on the phone. We were talking about putting together an educational seminar in Thailand. And so the plan is that the group would fly into Bangkok, Red Arrow, and end up down at our little place, which is the Green Arrow. And to get from Bangkok to Koh Sibuya Island, where our little place is, we'd drive the freeway and we'd stop by and fly a couple of the temples. My brother, I think you know, my wife is Thai, and my brother-in-law is a former monk, so he'd clear the flying at the temples. We'd end up on this little island here, but on the way down, these are probably two of the temples that we would fly. These are Phantom Vision 2 Plus pictures, so they're not the best. And with Thailand, you notice that the background is cloudy, and so rain may force us to fly other temples, but in Thailand, basically all the temples are pretty and they all offer some sort of a unique perspective. So we'd fly a couple of temples on the drive down to the island. And then once we got to the island, getting one of these boats, these are essentially the luxury water taxis, and hopefully we wouldn't end up with any goats or chickens on our boat, but you may end up with some livestock there. So we have one of these long-tail boats pick us up, take us out to the island. Here's one in action. Notice the long tail. They whip that thing around to steer the boat. And the engines are old engines that have been pulled off cars that no longer run. The boatman refurbished the engines and used them on the boats for another 20 years or so. And this is the drive out to the island. That's the island right there. So it's a real rustic experience. This is our little thing that picks us up at the pier. And this is where the seminar will be held. We've got about 6 parcels down there. And it's a place called Thai West Resort. We've been closed during COVID, and we're probably going to reopen next year, but we'll have to see how the tourism situation in Thailand goes. This is an overview of the place. We've got some air-conditioned houses right here, and we've got some fan-only bungalows there. This is our house, and this is the restaurant where we'll be holding the seminars. Lots to do there, and it's right on the beach, so you can always walk off and cool your legs if you're getting too hot. Each bungalow comes complete with its own set of geckos. So if you hear some birds chirping, it's not birds, it's geckos. This is where we'd be holding the seminar. At high tide, it gets quite high, so you'd have to Whoever's doing the presentations will have to shout over the water. Speaking of dragon fruit, the purple stuff on the right here are one variety of dragon fruit. We have dragon fruit growing on the grounds, they're very, very tasty. Catch of the day, depending on what my brother-in-law or the local fisherman snag for us. And you can go to a store and you can see there's actually the pink skin with the white flesh. That's another variety of dragon fruit. So plenty of fruit there. And we're going to try to set this up so it's educational. We'll be giving some speeches, seminars, and Desi's setting all that up. But we're hoping that families can come, and then while the people are listening to the presentation, their families can be out playing. We've got 3 kayaks, a couple of stand-up paddle boards. It's my son a few years ago using this one as a surfboard. And you can fly right down on the beach. Everything's fine. We also have a boat. We take the boat out to this island that's right offshore, do some more flying there. And anyway, so we're putting this together for first part of June. And Desi is going to have the speaker list and the cost. So anyway, because it's educational, we're hoping that it would be tax deductible for a lot of people. I know that I avail myself of the tax deductions whenever I go and speak somewhere, wherever I go and take a class. And Desi, we're doing a little more in-depth one on Thursday, correct?
Yes, and I put a link in there if anybody's interested. It'll be 10 o'clock Pacific time in the morning. And I did put a link in there for anyone that would like to register for the Zoom, and we'll be able to ask more questions and such like that. And so what a phenomenal opportunity. That just looks so beautiful. And I know you have shared so many times about the temples that you have got to fly around. And that to me is just a bucket list, you know. It's like, wow, what an opportunity, Eric. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. You did a great job at actually sharing with us, you know, a little bit about, okay, here's our really upscale looking little taxi and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So thank you.
No
Carolyn has said, take the deduction.
Good.
Awesome. So this is still in the works. So I encourage you to take a look at the Zoom link. We'll get more information for you. Like you said, it's being tentative set up for June. And so if it is something you think you would be interested in, we would like to know about it so that we can plan it out a little bit better and get you a lot more detailed information. All right. With that,
Desi,
yes.
just let me throw in one more thing. We've had a lot of people talking about how cold it is. In June at Thai West, the air is going to be about 85. The water temperature will be about 85. And when it rains, the rain temperature will be about 85. So it kind of doesn't matter what the weather is like. You're going to be the same temperature.
Nice even keel right across the board, right there.
Is the percentage of the humidity also 85% or just
on a good day? The likelihood that you'll get stuff stolen by monkeys if you leave it out is well above 85%. Yeah, that's the only thing that's not 85%. Looking at more like 100% there.
There we go. Lock it down or the monkeys have it. All right. Well, I certainly appreciate everybody sharing today. I know it did go longer than we anticipated, but there's just so much going on, and we wanted to maybe put that out there in a nice presentation so people could start marking the calendars and kind of planning things out. And so we're all about networking and providing resources and information. And so I just want to thank everybody who shared with us today. And we're already getting a lot of thank yous in there. So I will see everybody next week. I definitely encourage you to save the chat today. Man, there's a lot of great links in there, right? A lot of contact information from everybody. Real quick reminder, if you click on the lower right hand three dots, it'll bring up an opportunity to save the chat. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. Thank you for everybody attending today so I could say hello and see you. And we will see you next week. All right. Bye. That kind of wraps it up.